The club has spoken and the decision's been made, and Ange Postecoglou has left Tottenham Hotspur. Finally, Tottenham Hotspur can move forward. Let's get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video for you today. And in this video, I want to speak about the news that came yesterday from the night before Ange Postecoglou has left Tottenham Hotspur. Daniel Levy has made his decision, finally, making the right decision in my opinion. Taking the emotion out of the decision where the fan base were groundswell support for Ange Postecoglou was growing and grown so high that now there's a lot of people that are questioning Daniel Levy's motives and deciding to go and reflect on the overall season, but then just one moment winning the Europa League. And as that, we see there's lots of uproar in the Tottenham fan base and even with rivals as well, questioning why would Daniel Levy make such a bad decision like this, or such a decision that is controversial like this. A manager that's won our first trophy since the last 17 years. 2008 was the last trophy we had with the Carabao Cup. The most successful manager of the past 2 decades because he won the Europa League in Bilbao, getting us Champions League next season, the Holy Grail. But when you look at it logically, which is what Mr. Box Office was doing all this time, it was the logical decision to let go of Ange Postecoglou. As I said, 22 losses, worst points per game, only 6 home wins and 10 home losses. That's not even more than itself. -1 goal difference. What else do you need to know? But because of that Europa League, it gave people the opinion that he deserved next season. Now, how silly can that be when you look at the overall season? You can discount the injuries because we can know that was more to do with him than more with his training methods. We can also look at all the fact that he kept doing the same tactics and the same sort of things were happening in the same games. And then halfway through the season, in January, gets through a Frankfurt game, which he did really well to get through. And now people are groundswell support to say, why are we sacking our manager that got us our first trophy in how many years? It's quite simple. He wasn't good enough. He was not good enough to move us forward. And now we move on forward to the managers that we could be getting and are close to maybe appointing according to reports. And the fan base are in absolute uproar. So when we look at this afar with Ange Postecoglou, when you look at an example, you could have somebody that's working for an employer that haven't hit their targets over the year. They've been given a chance, but then they have a great big deal. Still, an employer is going to look at you and say, well, you didn't hit your specific targets, so why should we keep you? We can't keep you because you're losing us money. You can't just make you up for just one deal. Overall, we've not been very, very good. And that's the same thing that you can put with Ange Postecoglou. Respect to him. He puts a statement out, lovely statement, saying thank you to the club, thank you to the people that supported him, and acknowledge the massive achievement that the players have achieved. And they are heroes in history. But overall, when you look at the overall picture, It's been an absolutely awful season. And when the final review was made by the club and the board, ultimately that paid the price of Postecoglou's job. And we move forward now with us being linked with coaches that we've been missing the last 2 years of Ange, coaches that could possibly be better placed to improve the squad that we've got. Because it's been highlighted very, very much that Ange didn't get the best out of the players that he had, which with the people that were linked to with Thomas Frank and Marco Silva, you can see there's massive improvement with the players that they have at their disposal. When you look at Brentford, for instance, you see Thomas Frank has improved in Bomo and Whistler and Damsgaard. And there's other players in the team that they've improved that really have come on leaps and bounds because he plays to their strengths and he works with them throughout the season. Same with Marco Silva. You can see that he's improved certain players. He brought in players that fit what he wants to do as well. And that's really what Tottenham need, a coach. Ultimately a coach, which is what Ange has failed to be, a coach. And brought in coaches that could do the job or work with the coaches that he had to get the best out of the squad. Playing into their strengths like Basuma and Bentancur and the fullbacks in Poro and Adoji. And so ultimately, the right decision has been made. But then you see the narratives that have grown. Oh, we don't want to win trophies because you just sacked a manager that's won your trophy. Now, for me, that's not really a good argument. You can see he's made the right decision because he's taken the emotion out of it and said, well, previously this manager couldn't handle 2 games a week with Europa League. So why can he handle the Champions League? The whole thing with the Europa League has been overlooked with the league form, like I said. And for me, he didn't use enough to his disposal. He dismissed most of the youngsters. And this is what we could have with the coaches that we have with Thomas Frank and Marco Silva. There are other coaches available as well with Xavi. And if we kept Ange for next season, for a couple of months, we would have missed out on possibly appointing the right manager now. So this is the right time now to do that, with hopefully Prodigy coming in and bringing his expertise in July. Vinay is already through the door. Donald Cullen had left at the beginning of the week, and there could be even more further people leaving the club with Scott Munn and Johan Lang. So ultimately, Tottenham have made the right decision, but they have to move forward now with a coach and a head director who's going to be hopefully the constant and a structure in place to move Tottenham forward. Because this is a very important time. We're really far behind the other teams who have made steps to make signings. Even Manchester United, who we beat in the final of the Europa League. So really, there's no time to waste in appointing a new coach, getting his feet under the table, and start making roads for next season, which is going to be a very difficult season moving forward. So we can start moaning and saying whatever you want, but really, the main event was always right. This Postecoglou was never right for us, and he got through the competition. He got a cup, and we thank him for his services. We also thank him, and a very respectful statement that he came out with after the news of him leaving the club, and we do thank him for it. But in the end, Tottenham ultimately come to the right decision. and we move forward with either Thomas Frank or Marco Silva or anybody else that could come in as Tottenham manager. That's all, folks. Hope you're doing well. And as always, please like and subscribe. If you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office. Subscribe and like. And come on, you Spurs. And I'm out.